What's up, y'all? We're back.
How y'all doing?
I'm Jared, by the way.
I'm Josh. It is good to be here.
What's up?
Heck yeah.
It's been a rough week. We've been broken by Donald Trump. I've been disappointed by Tiger. But it was a good show tonight, so that's what we're here to talk about.
It was a good show. I was really into it, man. I feel
Yeah.
bad for Tiger. Poor guy.
Man, it's crazy just how unliked he is in his own hometown. Because, anywhere else in the country, you're a big star athlete like that, you get pulled over, you're like, look, just go home. We'll follow you home.
Yeah,
But-
we'll get you there, brother.
This dude is so hated. Even the cops in his own hometown are like, no, we're going to make you take you in, looking like Hustle and Flow.
Yeah, he
And it's
does.
going to be all over the internet tomorrow. So that dude is really not liked anywhere.
It's sad, man. Tiger's sad. I feel bad for him, man. It's strange to me, man, that. And this is a stupid thing to say in light of what we're talking about, but just the athlete, athlete Tiger Woods. It's very interesting that Tiger never had a great reputation, but he wasn't he wasn't crapped on. Whereas Kobe got crapped on, and the mess with his wife. First of all, he deserved to be crapped on for that. But that's between them.
Yeah.
It ain't my business anyway. Once they make it everybody's business, that's between them. If they work it out, good for them. And apparently they did, so
Yeah.
good for them. But Kobe's actually got a pretty good attitude. I mean, now don't get me wrong. Kobe versus Shaq, Shaq's gonna win every time.
Yeah.
But Kobe's a pretty funny guy, so it's just strange to me that it seems to me that what Kobe was presented as, Tiger actually was.
Yeah.
It just seems strange, man.
It's weird when you go back and you watch some of that early Tiger stuff now, and the way he was talked about by other golfers, I think they knew what the score was, just didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. And even like Jack Nicklaus, really not wanting him to break his record, he wouldn't just come out and say, "I don't want to do it because he's not a good dude." They knew what was going on behind the scenes, but just couldn't come out and put that on Front Street until he did it himself,
Yeah.
and they knew it was coming.
Yeah, there's a lot to that. I think you got some.
And that's if somebody wants to live that lifestyle, you want to run around, just don't get married. And that was the other thing that I couldn't stand. Mike Wilbon of all people, when Tiger got married, this is what he needed. This is gonna make him take him to the next level in his career. Like, really? You think so? You sure that wasn't the beginning of his downfall?
I'm not a huge fan of anybody, and I love Mike. I'm a huge Wilbon guy, but I'm not a big fan of anybody taking something as personal as getting married or having kids and let's correlate that. What's it gonna mean for their legacy and their career? I can't stand that. You got that. Come on, man. You get married to somebody who gives a crap for that day at least about your golfing. Come on,
real.
man.
And so that's one of the saddest things about the whole situation is like, man, if you want to live that lifestyle, fine. Just don't get married.
Yes.
Don't bring kids into it.
Yeah, that was something I always appreciated about Jeter, man. Is everybody wanted to give Jeter such a hard time for not being married, and it's like Derek's actually being a pretty stand-up dude about this.
that's
Everybody
right.
knows what they're getting. Clooney was the same way
Yeah.
for years. It's like everyone knows what they're getting into here, man. I mean, if George was married and doing this behind somebody's back, that sucks. Jeter's the same way. Neither one. It's like no, not till I want to.
Why, Tiger will never qualify for stick man of the year. He'll never be considered a stick man because he didn't follow the rules. You don't bring somebody else into this. If you want to live that lifestyle, fine, go ahead and do it. But understand, when you get pulled over at 3 o'clock in the morning in Florida thinking you're on the 405 and he acting the way you did, that's going to get you hauled in and put on blast.
Everything.
Yeah,
Everything. Yeah, man.
So I think part of it too, like what we're talking about, is it's been such a steady decline with no even signs of kicking out of it.
Yeah, for real,
As
man.
for Tiger, and it's not to say it's been a rough week. It's been a rough several years.
Yeah, he's rounding
that dude.
the corner on a decade, I think. It's been
Yeah.
a long time. And I mean, I understand Tiger's not going to be Tiger forever, but it's just messed up. It's like, man, his wife takes the golf club to his car, and
Yeah,
that was. It's not that he didn't bounce back. He had a good season after that, but it wasn't like Tiger back. You know what I mean?
And-
It was a very good season. It's like when Ken Griffey Jr. won Comeback Player of the Year. I think that was 05 or something like that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Junior got Comeback Player of the Year. But it's comeback player of the year. It's not, holy crap, it's 1994 again, you know?
Not come back that much.
Yeah, not back to Griffey. Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, man. It's like, it sucks, man.
What everybody said was going to happen to Tiger. The people there were people early in his career that would come out and say, yeah, that swing's not going to hold up. He's going to break down.
It's the CrossFit of swings.
that started happening, and really what we need to be talking about isn't Tiger going out and getting a DUI at 3 a.m. because he blew a 0.0 when it comes to alcohol.
It's true.
What's going on is my boy's on pain pills.
Yeah.
And that's just that's a real big problem.
Yeah, his thing
with these days.
Yeah,
Don't get back surgery. Don't get any type of surgery if you can help it.
He just got his back fused, man. And that's what he says, is that it was a reaction to the painkillers. And I'm like,
I straight up believe that.
I do too. I totally do too. I'm like, man, I believe you. And that's not even what I don't want to say problem. It's not I got a problem with it, man. It's cool. Fusion surgery, do your thing. It's your call, man. It's not that. It's that it concerns me because of what you're talking about, man. Because pain
That's
pills
really what
are
we need
that,
to be talking about.
pain pills is that crack in the door, and so often that door gets kicked open way after you don't need them anymore. And I just, it's just like weapons grade pharmaceuticals that are handed out for that stuff. And
the epidemic that nobody wants to talk about, what's going on. Everybody wants to blame the doctors. It wasn't their fault.
They didn't make pain medication opioids, so
Yeah.
I don't think that was doctors.
They can only follow what they're given and what they're allowed to give, and that falls under the FDA.
FDA, that's exactly what I was going to say. The FDA is the one that said heroin should be used for pain.
Roll with it, brother.
It's going to be fantastic, brother. Good, here you go, good brother.
All right, good brother.
White pony. Hit that dragon, baby.
That's what the real issue is. It's not Tiger running around on his women, or getting pulled over him for alcohol. I mean, it's these like. I think dude's in trouble, and everybody after the fact when, if we could have just been there to help Prince and Chris Cornell and freaking Amy Winehouse and rattle off the list, like come on. I think this is the signs are there that something either Buddy's going to kick out and everything's going to be great, or Tiger's not going to be here much longer.
Yeah, it's the thing where Lindsay Lohan and what's her face and Amy Winehouse before she died, they were punchlines, man. And it's like, dude, you're watching this happen.
Yeah,
it's like how can
you feel comfortable with joking about this?
You know what's coming, man. We've seen this before, man. Like, come on now.
And seen this story play out too many times.
No kidding, man. I know we have short memories now in Generation Twitter, but ain't that short.
Yeah, man. So that's the downer of this week. But anything else you want to talk about?
Just real quick, man. A couple of things. Obviously, I'm like keeping an eye on the finals, and I've been out of town, man. But I was actually in Ohio to watch Game 1. I just had it on the background. I kept an eye on. The first half was great, but then the third quarter, the Warriors were like, "Hey, we're the Warriors," and it was it was pretty bad, or pretty good, depending on what you think. But it was one of those situations where the Warriors were just real good. And they played real good. And that's my segue into what happened 2 days ago. I didn't get to see it till today. But fortunately, if you set your DVR for Saturday afternoon and you're coming home, it was yesterday, sorry. You set your DVR for Saturday afternoon and then you don't do anything on your phone until Sunday afternoon after you've watched your taped version of the Champions League Final, it might as well be live. Yep. So I got to watch the Champions League Final today. And the tie-in with the Warriors is that, sorry, y'all, I'm drinking that too fast, so I'm going to be burping all night. I like Cornette. Jim Cornette's always clearing his throat constantly, and I'm like, man, I feel bad. I'm like, burping Cornette. But anyhow, Warriors just went out and did the Warrior thing and played real good. Hopefully Cleveland can bounce back. And it ain't that I'm even pulling for Cleveland to win. I kind of am because Iman Shumpert's a tech guy and I'm greedy. But I just want the series to be good. I just hope it's 6 because I think it'd be a lot more fun to have a series. But Warriors went out, played real good. Same thing happened in the Champions League Final because Juventus can play. Don't believe that scoreline. Juventus is really good. It's just Madrid is that much better. And it's funny. I don't know if maybe if you don't follow it might not be a thing, but actually I think periphery makes the point better. Not too many Messi versus Ronaldo questions these days because the answer is not what people want it to be anymore. Because my buddy Chacho asked me 1,000 years ago, man, like, Ronaldo, Messi, who's better, man? The guys at work are always talking about it and I want an answer. I said, they're both real good, but Messi has to play in the system he plays in. Ronaldo offensively can give you anything. Anything. Scores with his head, scores with both feet, scores from tap-ins, scores from rockets from 30 yards. There's nothing he can't do offensively. And this was years ago before he is what he is now. Yeah. He was real good then. He's superhuman now. Well, he never shows up in the big game. Well, he bagged 2 yesterday. It's just like, it was impressive, man. It's just like, because I really didn't have a dog in the fight because Milan is like my Italian team. I should hate Juventus, but I don't because I don't live there. It's not in my blood. I just like Milan. Yeah. But it was fun. It's like, all right, cool, man. Juve and Gigi Buffon is great. It would have been cool to see him win. But, man, Madrid comes out, gets 1, and then the equalizer for Juventus was amazing. After that, it was all like, okay, time to put the screws down, man. They just. The other thing is Zidane is the coach at Real, and I loved him as a player. He won the World Cup the summer after I graduated from high school, so that France team I have a soft spot for. And he's one of the best players I've ever seen. And now he's the manager, and he's just killing everybody. And it's like, this is awesome, man. So that was a lot of fun. But that's about it. Champions League final and Game 1, and I've got Game 2 taping right now. And again, no internet, so I have no idea what happened. I'll watch it when I get home. It's great.
That's the way to live.
I think so too, man. I can zip through the stupid commercials in the halftime show where Michelle Beadle just screams at me for 3 minutes. I hate that.
Yep.
I'm way better off this way. And then also, sometimes I cheat and I fast forward through the first half. Sometimes I'm a jerk and I only watch the second half, but not always. Tonight I'm feeling good. I'll watch the whole thing tonight.
Yep. So, we watched the whole show. Speaking of watching the whole show.
Oh, yeah. Watch the whole show and the first interview on, we'll get to that in a minute, the Raw Talk or whatever the heck it's called.
Yeah, man. What the hell's the name of the show tonight? Extreme Rules, which...
Not Great Balls of Fire. That's what it was called.
The classic pay-per-view, Great Balls of Fire, that we had to look forward to this summer. Going into Extreme Rules, everybody's knock on it was these matches really aren't going to be that extreme now, are they?
Seriously.
Especially when some of the stipulations that they chose, like this just isn't very smart. Just change the name. Just don't change it to Great Balls of Fire.
No, just for real, man. Change it to Tutti Frutti. I got to get my list of what the matches were. That's why I'm playing with my phone over here, because I can't remember nothing. All right.
It kicked off with a very, very good match. And the kickoff show, we don't count. Didn't watch that.
Yeah.
You got to skip something. Can't watch all this mess. The Miz and Dean Ambrose.
The Deaninator.
Had one of the better matches the Miz has ever had.
I
thought tonight.
If you watch our show and have had to listen to me bellyache about The Miz, you know how I feel about The Miz. The Miz also had that one moment. Not that one moment. He and Ziggler had a pretty good series. There was one in particular that was on the SmackDown that I love and talk about all the time. And if you've heard those references and you're tired of those references, they are now going to be replaced because that was the best match I've ever seen him have. I genuinely, we were freaking out during the show like, man, this is awesome. There were about 4 different spots that whoever was calling came up, but it doesn't, whoever, they both pulled it off. But there were about 4 different things in that match that was just like, man, that's good. Oh, man, that's good. So I loved it. Miz won, beat a 7-time champ now. And I'm with you. It was good. I loved that match.
Kicking off the show for Extreme Rules with a match that's a title can be lost by disqualification. You're like, this isn't what this show's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But they could have done a better job with the build-up to that match, and Miz being more of a cowardly kind of heel. But at least he did a lot of it in the match.
He did. It's very weird. We were talking about that during the match, and then I think that our take on it was actually kind of confirmed with the Raw Talk segment.
Yeah.
As we were discussing, that I think the way to play that up is to be all like, man, you got your little ECW-looking guy and your ECW-like pay-per-view because all of you want blood and guts and tables and law and all that stuff. Well, here's what the heel, I'm going to give you. He gets DQ'd, I'll win. How's that for extreme? That'd be a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
But he don't write his own promos. You need to write that on paper for him. And the reason I said I think that got confirmed for us is like Jared was saying, during the match, he sold that extremely well. And then on Talking Raw, when they just drop the leash and kick it, it's kind of like, I never was a huge fan of the Bryan Danielson thing. I mean, it's real good. Yeah. It's proof he should be writing his own stuff. And his thing tonight was further proof he should be writing his own stuff. And I'm like, man, when left to his own devices, he tried to make that happen, and it was good, man. And his little interview, I said 4 times during the match, I'm like, man, this is great. I think there were 3 times in that interview that I was almost like, man, pause this because I'm laughing too hard to hear it. It was good, man.
Yeah, it was good.
But good night for the Miz. Holy crap, because I crap on that kid all the time. So it's one of those things when someone deserves credit, man. Give it to him.
Yeah.
And boy, he earned the heck out of it tonight, man. On the mic and in the ring,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
So Miz wins the Intercontinental Championship, and now it's going to be kind of fun to see who they feud him with after this.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be too many more matches with Dean Ambrose if there is one at all, because I think they're going to move both of those guys on to other things.
Yeah, Jared said during the show, he's like, well, or before the match started, because I was like, man, I'm pretty sure Miz is going to win this. And he said, yeah, I think so, because it frees Dean up. And I hadn't thought about it that way, but as soon as he said it, I'm like, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's totally what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. It's cool. So, and it's nice. You've got, I know this is stupid and everyone says it all the time, but by golly, I want what I want. You have Ambrose kicking off the show and the other 2/3 of the Shield at the end, man. Give us what we want. Put them in there together.
Yeah.
Let them kill each other.
I think that's going to happen sooner than later.
Yeah, with all of them on the same brand. Oh, yeah, I hope so.
Shield versus the Balor Club.
Oh, my God, please.
That's what-
Lord.
That's just meant to be.
Yeah, man, dadgummit, give us what we want. This was a gift from this awesome guy, by the way, because he's the man, and just hooked me right up. So I love my new shirt, and so I had to mention that on the show. I want YouTube to know that my best friend is awesome.
I feel bad taking on my Slam Crate stuff that I don't want. Be like, you want this?
It worked
Throw
out,
it away.
It worked out great for me, man, because I haven't bought any like Finn Balor stuff yet. So when he's like, "Man, I'm out into this shirt. Do you want it?" I was like, "You got it, brother."
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother. Oh, it's a great T-shirt, brother.
So, we have a new Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, and I'm really happy about it, which is just awesome because I never
Yeah.
thought I would say that, and I'm glad I finally get to. Man, it was cool. And the only thing that's messing with me about it is I'm like, man, all those people that for the last 18 months have been going crazy about how good The Miz is, I'm like, man, has he been doing this the whole time and I'm just now waking up? Maybe I'm slow to this. I really think that might be what's going
Yeah.
on. Like, man, what are you talking about? He's been this good for a while. And I'm like, maybe he has been this good for a while.
He's had a lot better people to work with here in the past year, so
Yeah.
that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I really think I hope that it's not the last hurrah for Ziggler, but it might be because that was good. Their stuff was
close.
good, man. And I love Dolph Ziggler, but I'm very selfish when it comes to Dolph, and the idea of him joining the Bullet Club just sounds better and better to me every day. So as far as I know, him and Cody Rhodes are like thick as
Super
thieves,
tight.
and that'd be cool, man.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Very, very easily.
I'd get into that seriously. You got it better.
So we had the next match was
I think it was the mixed tag.
Rick Swan with Sasha, Noam Dar, and Alicia Fox.
Yeah, man.
That was surprisingly good to me.
That is exactly what I thought too. Because it's four people that. Not a huge Sasha Banks fan. Alicia Fox.
It's one of those people I forget is even there sometimes.
It's weird because Alicia's like stick work is actually. And I shouldn't call it stick work unless she goes and cuts promos.
She reminds me of the old days of Victoria, who actually had a character, and it's so rare for one of the ladies to actually have a good developed character.
Yeah, man. It's like it's not necessarily her stick stuff, but her skit stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, she's pretty good at this.
She's
And
believable in what she does.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And her ring stuff is not great, but boy, it's not bad either. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, okay, she's working. This is cool. And her and Noam Dar are kind of neat. And
Yeah.
it was cool. It was just like, well, okay, let's see what's up. And I told what I said to Jared when the first match was over. I'm like, man, whoever's coming second, I hope they got a good story. Because I really
Yeah.
was just blown away by the first
Yeah.
match. But having said that,
That's a touchy spot.
Oh, yeah.
Spot on the card.
Oh, man.
After a show that gets open with something like that.
yeah.
As you know, so it ended up being the right spot to put it because nowhere else you could put that network.
Completely agree. It was really good. I really liked it. I thought it was cool, man.
Yeah, and I don't. With it being the stipulations pay-per-view, I don't think this even had one other than the fact it was a mixed tag.
Yeah.
And so, but it was good and worth checking out.
Yeah. And
But-
Sasha's old Atlanta Hawk gear was
Oh, that was tight.
that was sweet looking, man. It was cool.
The teal and blue,
Yeah,
The way to
it was
do it.
it was dope. I liked it, man.
lime green, teal, whatever.
I knew what you meant, man.
That led us to Alexa Bliss and Bailey, which was A lot of talk this week about how terrible the Raw segment with Bailey "It's Your Life" and is warranted, but it wasn't the worst segment they've ever had, but pretty close. I mean, there was the Old Day segment this past year that was pretty awful.
Ooh, yeah, Old Day hurt. That was
Yeah,
man. If you can write something those guys can't pull off, man,
you've really done something.
for real.
But the thing I hate the most about that segment was it was to be fair. I mean, Alexa Bliss did the best she could with it, but it was terribly acted. Uh, and just a terrible story that has been done just a few months ago with Charlotte.
Yeah, that's just sad, man.
Taking Bailey and uh, putting her down for being a fan of the show that we're watching when she was a kid, and now she's on it, and that makes her stupid for some reason. But they make her look stupid in the match by having her do unsmart face stuff. So anyway, Alexis made the best of it that she could, and it wasn't. People have been blaming her for it. I don't think it was her fault at all. So they get into the match, and it's another one of those stipulation matches where you're kind of like, this doesn't mean anything, because I thought the whole point of the kendo stick on a pole was whoever gets it down, whoever uses it first wins. And they didn't do that. So what's the point of it being on the pole in the first place? Just have a kendo stick match with them laying all over the place if you're going to do that. Because the match didn't last barely 10 minutes, if it even 8 to 10 minutes. So who cares?
It was the first
About
match
the
of the
poll.
night that was a big old stinker. I just did not like it. I'm not an Alexa Bliss fan to begin with, but this match was kind of like what Jared was saying about the whole segment on Raw, which I didn't see, but I'll take your word for it. I'm not a huge fan, but geez, when you give people nothing to work with, that's hardly their fault. I mean,
It was panned to the point where I think the WWE has tried to erase it.
I
It's
can
not
believe
on. It's not on their YouTube page. It probably won't be on the network. But who knows? That would take a lot of editing. But who knows?
All you gotta do is splice a 8x10 of Benoit in there and it's gone forever.
Yeah, but even down to the set having some of the exact same photos that they used with the Charlotte stuff just a few months ago. This is like it's been done. We've seen that side of it.
It's like we talked about this before, man. It's like Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin / Braun Strowman, but way worse.
Oh,
because it involves talking, and I hate when they write like you're talking about. Like, that's not Alexa's fault, and I can believe that because Alexa Bliss. I'm not wild about her as a wrestler, but she never once claimed to be an actress. So I hate when they give them these huge segments. I just hate the mentality that you can make a rock. You didn't make the first rock.
Yeah.
So I don't
You
like
got lucky.
Yeah, I don't like it. That's not cool, man. Don't put people in over their heads. That's dumb.
So man, that match was just
It was-
it just not good.
It was just
And it makes everything that people have been saying about Bailey since she's been on Raw not getting over. Like, well, you basically bury her even more, making her look as dumb as they made her look in this match.
it wasn't good. It was kind of a clunker. And part of it, we were talking about, man, part of it is that the first two were really good, so the bar was up there,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't good. It's not that it couldn't live up to the first two. It just was not a good
It
match.
just didn't even try.
Yeah, seriously, just didn't get close, and it's a bummer. Bailey's outfit was cool. That's about it.
Yep, that's all the best that can be
Yeah,
said.
that was it.
And another, going on to the next match, was the another stipulation that to me, when you think about the logic, just shows how little that they apply to it once the match gets started.
Yep.
It's a tag team cage match with Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Hardy Boys. And you can win. Both members of the team have to leave the cage in order to win. Well, when the match starts, you can either go through the door, which nobody ever seems to do anymore,
No kidding, man.
or you go over the top onto the floor. The first two members to do that win. Well, the match starts. You get about a few minutes into it. Jeff Hardy ends up on the outside. And I'm watching the match thinking, now wouldn't, if you were Sheamus and Cesaro, have thrown him out to begin with and just beat the piss out of Matt Hardy and walk out?
That's what I would do.
Why that's just the dumbest stipulation. That I didn't like tag team matches in the cage in the first place.
Yeah,
That
me
should only
neither.
be solo guys doing that. So they to having that to work with to begin with, it's already kind of silly. So, but adding that stipulation where both guys have to leave to win, like, well, this is just silly and
Yeah.
dumb. Why wouldn't you just throw one of the guys out and then just beat up the guy and then just walk out or climb out, whatever you want to do
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
once you've done that?
It was not. I mean, the match was okay, but the stipulation was stupid. I didn't care for that either, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. It was okay. It was cool.
Saying that, I mean, yeah, the stipulation and the logic wasn't very good. The match was awesome.
It was
the match
cool.
was,
It was cool. There was some good stuff in it.
yeah.
Freaking White Noise was bananas.
Heck
That was
yeah.
real cool.
I think that's what we're kind of seeing is the sowing the seeds of the Hardys split up and the Brukin character coming back, or coming back to Matt the way it never should have left in the first place.
Yeah, I could dig that.
So Sheamus and Cesaro win the belts, and man, with what happened in the main event, if they are seriously going to do a tag team against Bray and pick anybody against those guys, I think it's the thing to do.
Yeah, I could get down with that. Like
Yeah.
quick, that would be awesome, man. Because I just love Bray. I want him doing something, man. But I like his tag stuff. I think
Yeah.
it's cool, man. Him and Rowan would be fine. You know, I'll miss it. 'Cause Luke's my man, so I
Yeah.
really wish that it was still him and Luke. But hey, it's all good. However you want to do it, it's cool, man.
I get behind that.
I can get behind that.
And then we had Austin Aries and Neville had,
Awesome.
pretty awesome match.
Awesome. I'm biased as crap because I love both those guys, but
Yep.
it was cool. It was very, very cool, man. The man was telling me I've missed it till now, man. But that freaking corner power bomb into the last chancery, I was like,
Yeah.
that's so sweet. That was
That
cool
match was
looking,
cool.
man.
But that was another. At least that stipulation made sense, having a submission match, even on that Extreme Rules
Yeah.
show where no chairs or anything hardly got used.
Yeah, man.
At least it's something close to what we're supposed to be watching.
Yeah, and it's neat too. They were talking about it, like building up the Neville's use of the rings of Saturn and all that stuff. And it's like, see, that's cool. If you're booking a submission match, it's made like Benoit and Kurt Angle so good, as they both were submission guys. So it was just that was cool. I always like that. I hate when you have like a submission match with like, why was Stone Cold Steve Austin being a submission match? And then submission moves.
Yeah.
So it's very cool when you actually build it and do it that way. Like if you had one between Aries and AJ, that'd be cool
Yeah.
because AJ's got the calf crusher.
Yeah.
So like, that's sharp. I like stuff like that.
This was the match when I thought the finish was going to be a Austin Bret Hart like just pass out
Yeah.
instead of tap out win, and they didn't do that. But as a match that I got wrong was I saw Aries winning, but Neville wins and keeps his belt. I was just like, I don't think I would have done that. But who knows what they got planned?
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I thought that was a missed call. Would have switched that up.
I
if
would have
could.
to. Love Neville, but I'm with you. I think it's about time for A Double to have that belt.
Yeah, man. It's just he's had it long enough, and one of the things that I haven't liked about the 205 show or the cruiserweight division is how they don't fight outside of that division,
Yeah.
and it makes them look weak by doing that.
Yeah, I've had this idea that not to do it now, but this was like the debut thing. I was telling the man, just lie about Nakamura's weight. Say he weighs
Yeah.
204 pounds, have him walk in when the cruiserweight belt first night he's there, and then the next SmackDown or win at the time it would have been the Intercontinental, now it's the U.S. and have him be like a double champ. That'd have been
Yeah.
awesome. And then you've
That could
got
work.
him fighting off the. Fighting my two ideas about the 205 belt. That was one of them, and the other one was I wanted the Young Bucks to show up and have Nick Jackson win the belt, and they come out on Raw or whatever the next night, and they each have one. I think the idea of having the Freebird rule for a singles belt would be hilarious. So then I think those would be funny guys to do. Now, don't get me
We
wrong.
both get it.
We've discussed it before. I don't want the Young Bucks to go to WWE, but I think that'd be a hilarious way to do it.
One of the belts is the old light heavyweight title, just painted purple.
Oh, it'd be great.
It
God, it'd be
hurts.
awesome. Just like purple Sharpie. That'd be awesome, man. But I do like the idea of the Freebird rule for a singles title. It's a good idea.
So that got us to the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody came to see. Which I forgot didn't really have a stipulation other than the fact that it was just a five-way
It's
match.
dudes,
Kinda like,
yeah.
well, okay, you couldn't have done something like a ladder match or anything, but we can't take the shine off Money in the Bank, which is coming in just 2 more weeks. Uh, but man, that was a heck of a match. We had Roman, Seth, Samoa Joe, Bray, and Finn Balor,
Fun baller, brother.
all in the match, and it worked. It was awesome. It was good. I dug it.
I did too, man. I was a little concerned just because um, I knew it was not gonna happen. It's already happened. The full-on John Cena-ation of Roman of just lay outside the ring and let us do our thing. It's a bummer, but until you consider, or until I consider, because I thought it was a bummer, and then I got thinking about it. I was like, well, the other four guys get to work. This is probably the best thing you could hope for. And the strange alliance thing between Joe and Bray, I loved.
Cool.
I wouldn't
That
have
was
seen.
a nice tease.
Me too. I wouldn't have seen that coming from 1,000 miles. I really enjoyed that. Thought it was cool. I thought Finn drop kicking the crap out of everybody, particularly Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt bumped his hiney off on that drop kick into the not the apron, but
The tape. He had a spot where Seth did the splash on him that was like crazy.
It was his second horrible bump of the night. It's the rail. I apologize, but he just like full on committed. It was great. And then later on, they set him up on the table and they kind of teased the coup de grace from the outside. And we're like, please don't, no way, don't even try that, man. But then Rollins
killed my boy
for real. And then Rollins got up there and did the frog splash. And it was sweet. Still very, very cool, man. God, there was a couple of other spots in that were just really good, man. But overall, in general, it's just one of those things like
we're sick of the spear through the barricade. Stop doing that.
Yeah, man. Nia Jax had that like hair pulling, like half swing into the barricade with Alicia Fox. That's the best one there's been. I thought that her missed spear to Sasha Banks through the wall. That's the best one. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. She's better than all of y'all. Quit.
You're done.
You're done. Man, I'm sorry I'm not thinking of it now, man. But yeah, again, that was a cool match. I was really kind of digging it. And I would have put money on Reigns winning, and I'm glad he didn't. I'm really glad he didn't. And also, my man was telling me the internet got all kooky about Bray Wyatt winning, and love Bray as much as I do. Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar would suck.
Yeah.
That match would suck. It would suck.
There's nothing you can do with that.
No way. It just doesn't work, man. So, Finn would have been cool. Seth would have been cool. That stuff would have been all good. But the best possible matchup for anyone is the one we're going to get, which is just awesome now. I know it's a long time before Great Balls of Fire. So they can always try to work it into a three-way piece of crap like they did WrestleMania 20, which I'm still mad about. F you, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
But you did good work, but you were unnecessary. Anyhow, and you got the crap boot out of you too, which I still think is hilarious because he melted down like a freaking stood up prom date. It was funny. But Joe versus Brock. About time for Joe, baby. And that is the one thing I complain about this all the time. And this is not a complaint; it's just a statement. There is only one way to book that.
Yeah.
So I'll be watching.
Yep.
I'll be watching, man. So I'm very excited for Joe, and I'm excited about what they're doing there.
Heck yeah. It's going to be good.
It's cool. Could not believe how much I liked the show tonight.
It's very good.
Really, really
Best
good.
one in a long while.
It was cool. It made me happy, man. Just particularly the bookends, you know, and then Mrs. interview with Renee. It was good, man. It's just funny. That hurt you, didn't it? That hurt you. It was funny. And my wife was banned from ringside. I laughed hard at that. That was just really clever, man.
What are you on?
What do you mean? My wife was banned from ringside. She couldn't have done anything. Man, please stop writing promos for him. Just let him kick it.
Yeah.
He ain't Kevin Owens, but he's funny. He's pretty good.
Coming off on MTV will develop you a quick wit.
You would think so.
Either that or you just won't last. One of the two is going to happen.
Man, what the heck, dude? So yes, it was very, very cool. I'm glad to be on the Miz bandwagon finally, because man, that was fun. It was a good match. And I'm with you. We enjoyed pretty much all the same ones, which was most of them. I don't mean to diss the show. There was just it's really only the one that I didn't care for, and that's okay.
Heck yeah.
It's over with, and we'll get on with it. And it's very, very cool. And still love Bailey, so we're good.
Everything's going to keep right on turning.
Yeah, always gonna love Bailey, man.
Heck yeah.
I think Bailey should join the Bullet Club.
Hey, that'll work.
Bailey Club. That'd be awesome, man.
It's the Balor Club, spelled B-A-Y.
Mm-hmm. And as far as like taking her inflatable, wacky, funky dudes with her, her and the Bucks could totally walk to the ring to those.
Oh, yeah, man.
The Young Bucks wrestle like those things, so that'd be awesome, man.
They need to scale those back a little bit. They're doing a little bit too many of them. They can't all get up and do what they need to do.
Yeah, she's out there trying to rescue a couple of them. It's like, I need 8, y'all. God damn.
Crowding each other. It's like,
For real.
just 2 is fine.
It's all good. Yeah,
You
one
know,
on each side is okay, man.
that's it.
You can never have horseman buddies. You can do two on each side. It's all good.
Yep.
Be awesome if they mixed those with pyro and they exploded.
Ow.
It's called fire.
Why?
Why? This is horrible.
Man, that's what's up with the shows.
That's how we do it, man. It's all gravy. It's good stuff, man.
Running out of steam because I'm tired.
I can dig it. It's late, man, for real. We
Peach pie.
watch too much Miz, man. I can't turn him off.
Man, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Take it easy, y'all.